So Zoey Stark had a gruesome injury happen to her. I'm sure you all saw it on Monday Night Raw. And she says, wow, the love and support means more to me than you'll ever know. What hurts more than my knee is knowing I won't be able to perform for all of you for a while. I love what you do, and I'm blessed to do this. As the saying goes, the comeback is greater than the setback. Love you guys. Stark Marks. Hey, that's a good one. Mm-hmm. Phil S. Marks, Phil Stark Marks. Conspiracy. Yeah, the gruesome injury. It was what it was. I hope she'll be back. People were like online. I saw some sickos being like, this is Triple H's fault. He should have released her and stuff. Like the darkest, most morbid take you could have on the whole situation.
How hateful do you have to be to make a comment like
dude.
that? Good
so what do y'all think about that? I guess, Johnny, you're going off. Like, what do you think about Stark's injury there and her, I guess, her response in the IWC? A lot of people being morbid about it, like trying to put blame on Triple H and other people.
Wow, they're just this whole week, everybody's on Triple H, blaming him for everything. If there's a drought in Kansas, blame Triple H, that sort of thing. I just think that Zoey Stark's very fortunate. She still had a job when they fired everyone else that was in the trio she was in that faction she was in. And it was very unfortunate that it happened to her. When you see Zoey Stark in the ring, she rushes the match, her spots. She goes through them so quickly that she's stiff with people, not meaning to be, for what I see, but it's because she's so excited trying to get herself over. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Everyone tries to get themselves over. It seems like it was a spot, that missile drop kick, springboard off the top rope, that they said, that's great. Keep on doing that. That's a great spot. That's a great spot. And she rushed in this match with a returning Kairi Sane. And unfortunately, we got what we got. It was a bad knee to begin with, the one she destroyed at NXT. She was gone for almost a year then. I don't know if she's going to be back. I don't know if they would release her at the end of her convalescence for this injury, like they did with Carl Anderson. He had a torn pec, I believe.
Yeah.
And he had surgery. And they said, well, you're going to be back in 90 days. Okay, well, we're going to cut you, and that 90 days will count towards your convalescence, and you can go anywhere you want after that.
So, Dose, what did you make of some people that I saw online saying Kairi Sane? I saw JD. He was over there. Now he's over. He was like, Kairi Sane was over there, and she's supposed to be over here now. Oh, and apparently he was like, Kairi Sane. Apparently he was like, Kairi Sane was nowhere near where she was supposed to be. What do you think of that assessment? Was it Kairi's fault? Whose fault was this, Dose?
I'm not going to be JD. I don't pretend to know any of those things. I don't pretend to know where someone's supposed to be in the course, unless it's an obvious spot, unless it's like, when that guy Leo Slater, whatever his name is, jumped down and like nobody caught him. I mean, those things are obvious, but, and listen, injuries happen. So like trying to cast blame on it all the time is absurd. I mean, we just heard the one analysis where it might have been Zoey. Maybe she rushes. Maybe her knee just is bad. Maybe she should change her offense. I don't know. I'm not going to attribute any blame to it. Plus, it doesn't matter because Meltzer said the whole injury is a work. So
exactly, it's a work.
She's fine. She's in Hawaii.
She's in Hawaii. She's living it up in Hawaii right now.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
So Lince Dorado is on NXT Evolve or WWE Evolve, I guess, and he's taking on Jackson Drake and Jordan Oasis in a triple threat play-in match to get a shot at this title. Have you guys been keeping up with Evolve?
Excuse me.
I do not.
No.
Excuse me. I am a co-host of the best, premier, and possibly only podcast dedicated to Evolve, A Dose of Chocolate.
Excellent. So, and I appreciate you saying that. So A Dose of Chocolate it's dedicated to Evolve. And I know you love NXT like I do. Evolve is sort of an extension of that. However, I got to be honest, Dose, it's like what I throw on when I'm going to sleep. It's like some MLW shows I'll throw on like while I'm like closing my eyes and shit. I'll just listen to it, Evolve is, I'll focus on Dynamite because I do my live show and people tune in to hear me talk about AEW. More so than I think Evolve, although a lot of my chat's like, you should watch Evolve. Now, Lince Dorado's back. Some people are taken back by that a little bit. Apparently, this Corey Hayes, I believe he's a dirt sheet writer, Lince Dorado, for those of you unaware, I mean, he's been working behind the scenes with WWE for a while now, and he's worked house shows. He's also, I think he makes gear for some of the guys.
He does.
Yeah. So, I mean, what is your take, Dose? You, and of course, with a dose of chocolate, and I implore everybody to check it out. Evolve. Your thoughts on Evolve overall, and then a guy like Lince coming in, does that bother you at all? Some people are like, oh, he knows Chase and Rants, and it's like a lot of people do, you know what I mean? So I don't know if that can be held against him. You know, a lot of people know that guy. So
everybody in wrestling knows Chase.
Everyone who's ever been in Florida wrestling in any, you know what I mean? Like gone through Florida or whatever, you fucking know this guy. So it's like, yeah. So, what do you make of all of this? Is this a triggering thing for you? Are you down seeing Lince Dorado? He's obviously going to help get young people over. Jackson Drake, also, if I'm not mistaken, isn't that like that J.D. Drake guy from AEW's brother or something like that?
I think he might be, but isn't one? But one of them is Scottish. Jackson Drake is clearly not Scottish, so I'm not really sure. Lince Dorado has not been on or mentioned on Evolve prior to the announcement of this match, so I was surprised. I'm not saying I don't think I knew he was with WWE, but a lot of people said he's been back. He's been working in the back, like you guys said. He makes some of the gear, and I didn't know he was doing house shows. That said, these guys are rookies, so there has to be a ring general in every match, and people coming from the main roster to Evolve or NXT to Evolve has sort of been a kiss of death. It sort of seems like let your last chance. So Lince Dorado, who is not an active competitor on TV, at least this is not a kiss of death for him.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's fine. Also, listen, Jackson Drake, if you're an AEW like old time Ring of Honor fan, you'll like him because he's very skinny, he's small, he looks like a lifeguard, but he's very good. He's very crisp in his moves. He's a good professional wrestler. I don't like him because he's small, but Lince Dorado can keep up with him. Jordo and Oasis is more of a typical sort of ground game, kind of wrestler. So Lince's in there to keep the pace. But Evolve. So the thing about Evolve is that I think they taped it all over 3 or 4 days, like 3 months ago. So there's people who are released like Danny Palmer and Javier Bernal and Gallus who have been on episodes and are still referenced and part of stories. They didn't get the chronology quite right in some of the commentary and outfits, and the booking is a little bit like NWA and a little bit like Vince, where you sort of get the do-si-do where people they revisit the same feuds or things over and over, but you have to. It's single A. It's developmental. So I don't know if you guys don't want to watch it. I can't really blame you. It's okay if you love wrestling or you just want to see the kids develop. But listen, just go to the Wrestling Soup and Friendos or the Donald's White Chocolate YouTube channel, and you don't have to pay attention. You can listen to a dose of chocolate, put on double speed. You should listen just for our theme song alone. It's fantastic.
It's like what you guys do with Dynamite. You just listen to your boy Phil talk about it instead of fucking Excalibur yelling while the matches go on, right? So that's what you can do with Evolve if you're
how many of those people in Evolve are ready for NXT then, Dose?
One is true. Sean Legacy, who pretty much is on NXT.
Yeah, he was on already.
He had a match with Lexus King. He's better than Lexus King, like a lot, which isn't saying much, but he's better than Lexus King. Excuse me. Some of these guys skill wise and guys, it's gender neutral, but there are some young raw talents here that they're athletes, and it's sort of like NXT Prime. The women are rich with talent and skills and accolades. The men are a little bit behind, but they've got a couple of like Haas. They've got a guy named Harlem Lewis and a guy named Keanu Carver. Keanu Carver is going to be a killer if he can keep the Samoans from killing him on Twitter and in real life. Troy Yearwood from LFG, he is now on Evolve. You've seen him on NXT and Security.
Yes. And I was just gonna say, sorry to interrupt, but LFG's much the same way, where the women are much more like have depth, I'd say, than the guys do.
It's funny.
As well.
The thing is, I think on LFG, there were 3 women who I think are really good, and there's one who's so good looking they should invest in her. But I thought that like 6 of the guys had potential. I mean, some of them are far and away, like actually 8 for 8 of them could probably be in there. And Cutler James, who got cut, is in
NXT. And you know what? Here's the thing, man. Him and BJ Ray and Zena Sterling and these people, they were like a bunch of them on LFG a year ago on a show called WWE Next Gen. They were all on that show. It's a Roku reality show. They were all on it. They already did the BJ Ray Cutler feud. They got in a shoot fight in the PC, quote unquote, a shoot fight. You know, they've already done all of that. And yeah, Cutler's already on NXT, and like before he even got cut off the LFG show, which works into his gimmick. And all of these people are already going to be in WWE in some capacity. Like these are all people that are already on like developmental deals, and then they get put on TV. So we got to remember that. I say it's like the Ultimate Fighter. If you've ever watched that reality show with the UFC, everyone on the show, they get quote unquote eliminated, but they all get a shot at the UFC after, you know, in the end, they all get a fight, you know, they get signed to at least a fight.
I can tell you
with WWE.
They should just put an executioner hood on her and have Bailey Humphries be the China of the new Paul Heyman.
I know. That's who I would have picked to win the whole thing personally.
She's so good, and she's
so good,
and she's so big. Her body, it's like it's freakish. So I mean, it's just amazing. So, Evolve, it's okay. It's corny, but.
So Nattie Neidhart comments on what she does to other women in the industry. And she said this on Busted Open, and she's snapping. So hopefully she's saying, like, hopefully I can bring some of my GCW Nattie Neidhart gimmick over to WWE, you know?
I did for Kenzie what I've done for many people in the industry. And if I'm going to talk the talk, I'm going to remind you guys of the walks that I've walked.
And she put Kenzie Page over in NWA, by the way, which is like I said, too, that was the right thing to do, especially if Gail Kim, like she bailed out last minute sick of the match, so she couldn't guest ref it. Now, if she was guest reffing and you had Nattie win to build to like a big moment for NWA where you get Gail versus Nattie for that title, okay, do that. I mean, if Billy Corgan and WWE would allow that, do that. But Gail Kim bailed out, and then it's like, okay, you just have to put Kenzie over on Nattie. You have to fucking do that. I'm not even following Kenzie Page that close, but that's the right thing to do. And Nattie, the consummate profesh.
You look at Charlotte Flair. Charlotte wasn't able to be Charlotte until I brought out a different side in her. So I was able to do that. I gave Charlotte the Nattie rub. And Charlotte is a very close friend of mine. I absolutely love her, and I respect the shit out of Charlotte. But Charlotte talks about it all the time. When I had that match with her at TakeOver in 2014, I brought out a different side of her, a side of her that she didn't know existed. So I did the same thing for Kenzie. I did the exact same thing for Kenzie. Kenzie is in her early 20s, and she got to understand about who the fuck I am. I got to run circles around Kenzie.
The Nattie rub? What is that? Like jerking off with no Vaseline? Sorry.
I'm 42 years old running circles around a 20-year-old girl. And that's why when you train in the dungeon, you learn how to fight for your life. Kenzie didn't realize when she was wrestling me that I love the taste of blood in my mouth. I love bruises underneath my clothes.
Blood in your mouth? What is this, like on your period?
Just like JD from Memoirs here.
Oh my God! You
live for this.
You went there.
I did for Kenzie.
Sorry, guy. What is it, like that time of the month? Oh, so the NXT Ray. I'm sorry. So
she'll never be able to do that stuff on the main roster.
Did Nattie always have that lisp, or is that from all the collagen in her lips and tongue?
Is that no? It's because I put on my goo in that. No, I'm so sorry. I gotta stop now. But
oh my God.
No, dude, the lisp. I never noticed it. I don't know. I don't know. Does she have a lisp? I didn't.
Oh, it was terrible. I mean, I'd never heard it before. So it must be the collagen in her lips and gums.
You don't notice the lips when it's in her mouth. Oh.
Okay. All right. Now that was just distasteful. No,
I didn't say anything.
It's also inaccurate. I mean, the lips are an important part of that.
Is it lisp or like is her mouth full? Oh,
that's where I was going.
Then the evening went spiraling downward.
NXT ratings were 697,000. They did a 0.13 in the key demo, Brian. And then AEW did like 500 and whatever thousand. Your thoughts on this panel? Just Johnny, what are your thoughts on this NXT rating and them like demolishing Dynamite again? And then Dave Meltzer saying like, oh, people were watching basketball, but there was basketball on Tuesday too, wasn't there?
I believe so.
More certain there was. It's all playoffs. Yeah. So I don't know if it's the same
NXT.
time.
NXT's in more houses. You didn't know that?
Yeah.
That's what Meltzer's big argument is all the time.
Well, his other big argument is that there's like 733 million people watching on Max.
Yes. So many of these viewers that never knew they liked AEW before. And then he saw it on Max and said, what's this AEW? Let's watch this.
Wealthy ones.
It's garbage. Well, the wealthy ones for the amount they can afford.
I mean, do you want to watch the White Lotus? No, let's check out this AEW.
Yeah, I'd rather watch that. Screw the White Lotus. It's look, CW and NXT. Who would have thought those two things going together would be such a fantastic mix? Who would have thought that CW would be elevated so much by NXT? Who would have thought 697,000 people would be watching this show every Tuesday night, basically on average, maybe 650, 690. 697 is a high, but who would have thought that? Who would have thought that AEW's rating would crater to, what was it, Phil, 575,000?
Yeah, like 575. Yeah,
I'm the answer to both of those questions. So
yes, let Dose go. Yeah, he'll know.
I mean, I think that NXT might get to 1 million at some point. In AEW, I've said at the beginning that when all is said and done, this is a 500,000 to 750,000 person product.
Dose, let me ask you this question. Where are the viewers going? At one point in time, they were doing, well, when Punk was in the company, they did 1 million. Ashley's not there anymore.
Well, let me ask it this. Let me ask you this way. First they was over here, now they're over there now. They're over there with the bad guys. No, what? Yeah, but Dose, for real. Where are they going? Are they watching? They're watching foot. They're just all went to streaming. Well, we know young people. They don't password share with their moms, Brian. They actually all just watch on digital and streaming.
I mean, well, there's some people that just leave wrestling. There's some new fans, and then there's people who try. I mean, some of the people they heard TNA is doing better, so they check out TNA. MLW is definitely like their YouTube streams are doubling. They years ago they did fine, but like for 18 to 8 months ago, they were generally doing like 60 to 85,000 on YouTube. Like after 2 weeks, now they're doing like 180,000, 200,000.
AEW is.
Yeah.
Okay,
NWA is picking up some people. So, the wrestling fandom, it's sort of like a pillow. It doesn't really change. You just punch one part of it and some of it goes down and some of it puffs up here.
Do you guys think that NWA will get a handout or hand up rather, much the way TNA has gotten one from WWE? You think they'll get one from WWE? Or let's say, Billy, come here, let's talk.
Anything's possible these days.
Anything's
possible. That's true.
Because of Wade Barrett and Nick Aldis and Mickey James.
Right.
Mickey didn't leave on, Nick actually didn't leave on good terms. But I think NWA, because of its lineage, I know people say the library, but I don't think it's really the library as it is the history.
Yeah.
I think, yes, I think the Natty thing, but this is low impact. I mean, the only thing that's keeping NWA from like jumping at whatever they say is the fact that Billy Corgan keeps sending the Smashing Pumpkins out on concert, and if they won't do it, he does a solo concert playing their songs, and then he licenses their music to every commercial, TV show, and movie you see, because he's like the Paul McCartney of it. He owns all their shit.
He's the modern day Gene Simmons.
Billy Corgan's fucking awesome. Here's LJ Cleary chilling with CM Punk. And Husey posted the picture. I was talking about it on the show. This is Lyra Valkyria's husband. Mm-hmm. And Husey, I was talking about it on the show. He was chilling with him and he's like sending me pictures. And I was like, I don't know if I should share these, but he posted one of them publicly. So I might have bookmarked it. But yeah, he's been training with Punk and Ace Steel and Joe Hendry, I think, linked up with them as well. And so just a good connection of fellows there. And yeah, hopefully we see him down the line. Mr.
Europe.
Kennedy, yes, NXT Europe, exactly. So Mr. Kennedy, Ken Anderson, has revealed a significant change in his perspective on a potential return to WWE. Of course he has.
Yeah.
During a recent interview with Giga Chad Chris Van Vliet, he said, when I was at TNA, I was like, I'll never go back there. I'll never work for them again. Now it's changed because Vince is gone. He'd get his job back. I would definitely go back now. Not trying to laugh at him, but he did train Tiffy, I believe, right? Trained Tiffany Stratton. I'm pretty sure of that. Instead of looking at myself, I was looking at this person did this and that person did that, and they screwed me. At some point, I realized I play a huge hand in all that. So with Vince McMahon gone, it's the straw that broke the camel's back. A lot of negativity around things that I was doing, my attitude, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he trained Tiffy. And do you guys want to see a Mr. Anderson return, or what would he even do? Ring announce?
I don't care.
Ring announcer on NXT.
He did his thing. We all liked it. Time's passed. Move on.
Yeah, he can do commentary. I mean, I don't care, but I mean, I'm not one to laugh at him either. But I mean, of course he would go back. I mean, he's got to be what, 44, 45 now. I mean, you know, wouldn't it be great to you know, he's probably not particularly skilled in you know, anything else. So, you know, why not get a 6 or 7 figure, you know, contract? I don't really see any role for him, but
oh, bruv, the burger went upside down, bruv, and it'll fall down. And then it came back up, bruv.
Because he has like a bad school system 7th grade education level tops. He couldn't be in WWE. He couldn't cut a promo. He can't focus or concentrate.
Exactly right.
He's got neurological or you know, cognitive disabilities, and the only thing he can fixate on. The truth is that he keeps answering the same question about how bad WWE is and how good AEW is. He keeps saying it. He's revealing the truth is the exact opposite, and he can't help himself because he's like Meltzer. He's got the same condition where he's convinced himself of this false narrative, so he's got to babble his lie over and over again.
Yeah.
So if Dave Meltzer was a pro wrestler, he would be Will Ospreay.
Yes.
He wishes, if he could build himself into one, yeah. I've been talking about it too a lot, how Will Ospreay doesn't understand that these dirt sheet fucking geeks as well just interview him, and the most interesting thing about him is what he'll say about WWE, and now they don't even care about you, bruv. They're just interviewing you now so that you'll say shit about WWE so they can get their clicks, and they just don't even actually give a fuck about what you have to say other than that, and now that's the most interesting thing about you. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty fucked up how you let that happen, and how nobody professional in AEW came to you and was like, stop that. Talk about your fucking match with Hangman.
Oh, they love people saying that. But listen, Will, God bless you for getting retirement money. Hopefully you're smart enough to get a financial planner and invest well.
Yes.
Agreed.
Speaking of good investments, Liv Morgan donated to Stephanie McMahon's daughter's animal rescue charity. And Stephanie McMahon says, my daughter has an animal rescue, and though this experience, Liv saving a stray cat in Saudi Arabia, Liv, I guess, realized that she loves rescuing animals, and she donated to my daughter's charity, which I thought was really sweet, thought that was cool, obviously has a big heart. We know that. Goldberg says he has approved some creative plans leading up to his WWE retirement match, which will take place in the South. Allegedly, there is a event taking place in like Georgia or some shit.
Atlanta? Yes.
Atlanta.
Not New Orleans.
Yeah, exactly. And people are saying like, oh, it's probably this event then. And he's saying it's going to be in the South. This gives me the opportunity to put a stamp on my career in front of the people I care about the most. Or I care the most about.
Saudi Arabia?
No, it'll be against Hogan. It'll be against Hogan in the Dome, brother.
It's got to be in Atlanta, though.
Yes.
And then against who? Like Cena, Logan Paul, something like that. It's just got to be a big name, make him look good. NXT Shawn Michaels comments on why tag team wrestling isn't as prominent in WWE nowadays. And I just think this is a fucking L, because I'll explain why in a second. But he says, nowadays we've got a lot of tag teams still, but I don't know how many of them are 100% tag teams, as opposed to maybe 2 guys that look like singles wrestlers, but they form a tag team. I think that was also a time when people enjoyed tag team wrestling and tag team packages. Dude, they still do. And I think times have changed a bit to where now people understand that individual superstars are the ones that kind of make everything tick here in WWE. I disagree. So I think tag teams are still a prevalent part. I know they are here in NXT. We agree with that. I think we all have our favorite time, and we all have a time that we're biased to. I have mine as well. So you're not alone in that aspect, in that respect. So, okay, here's the thing. Fraxium as individuals. You either have to make a cruiserweight division or they're fucking jobbers who can go to AAA and wrestle in it. You know what I mean? Like they're just random nobodies. Or together, they could have a generational run on with those SmackDown tag belts like they did in NXT, holding them for like a fucking year or whatever. They could do the same thing on SmackDown. No one would bat an eyelash or get mad at that because it's tag team wrestling. But if you were to split them up, especially with no light heavyweight or cruiserweight division, come on, man. In WWE, they would become they'd become Pete Dunne, you know? That'd be the highest they get. So yeah, that's my opinion on it. And I just think they should focus more on tag teams, especially with a bloated ass roster. Well, if we have tag divisions, we can fucking work more guys. And if we really establish people as teams, then it's when they do split up, it means more if that's what they're called to do. You know, it's not like Montez Ford gets hurt any if he eventually splits up, but it's not like I view him as more than just a tag guy right now with Angelo Dawkins. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think people nowadays really want to see tag teams more than ever, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I like the tag team concept, like the Steiners, all that stuff, shit from the old days that people like. People want to see that now, and they're not getting it. I'd like to see it with you, Phil. I'm with you 100%.
Dude, hell yeah. And with the women, how about? Like, where's the first women's team that's like, we're demolition, bitch? Like, we're just
there's
fucking two peas in a pod, dude, and we just do tag team moves. Like, where is that? KC2? Oh, they got released. All right, fuck you. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels is just espousing what Vince McMahon has been trying to change the industry for 20-something years now, to kill tag team wrestling, because he always saw it as there's one star or maybe there's two and break up tag teams. He's the one who started putting mishmash teams together with the Rock and Sock, and some of them work, but it's just not true. The Road Warriors, Demolition, the Rock and Roll Express, Midnight Express, the British Bulldogs, the Hart Foundation, people love tag teams, and if someone graduates, that's fine. Owen Hart then joined Jim Neidhart. It didn't really hurt things. So, the Freebirds, the Von Erichs, it's all good. And they've had it. They've had Toxic Attraction, and they've had good tag teams, and they just break them up. They fire somebody. So WWE is probably the company most responsible for killing tag team wrestling.
People want to see it. Phil just said people want to see it. He wants to see it. I want to see it. Just give me something to see.
Mm-hmm.
JC Mateo has confirmed the timeline of his New Japan exit. He said, I still stayed with them for 2 more months. So this is why they slapped the tag titles on him. He stayed with them for 2 more months after his contract expired. He was not under contract. It was like a handshake kind of thing, and his WWE contract was being finalized. Then went into effect April 21. My last NJPW match was 19. May 10 was my official debut. So quickly, happened pretty quickly, the transition there. And I guess shout out New Japan, but they tried to give him like the strap, so to persuade him, obviously, is what it kind of seems like. El Grande Americano's mask, you don't think?
No, I think you should say you fucking marks. Professional wrestlers don't stay in wrestling because they get a title.
Well, then why did New Japan go, well, we're going to give you these tag belts just to like...
Because they're fucking marks.
Yeah, okay, yeah, okay. Right.
Exactly.
El Grande Americano's mask has sold out, and there's a bunch of triggered 19 and 18-year-olds on Twitter today crying about the cultural appropriation of that, and stupid. They can... yeah, that's very stupid. Josh Alexander turned down a pitched run in NXT. So he said there were rumblings of 2 that I'd heard about after the fact that were denied by management for whatever political reason there was. Them not wanting me to lose or something like that. Then there was 1 offer on the table for me to do a big run and then wrestle for the title on a pay-per-view or a stand and deliver, I think it was. I had actually turned that down because it just didn't fit with what my goals were coming up into contract time and stuff like that, with negotiations coming up. So he just was. Listen, Josh Alexander's older. He was just going to take that big Tony Khan money and go work with his boy Scott D'Amore in Maple Leaf Pro, where he's the world champion, and he's going to make tremendous money. He doesn't have to worry about shit. And I don't blame him, because he would just be a mid-lower guy in WWE. Let's be fucking honest. Like, maybe he'd wrestle for the NXT title, but then how long does that last before they just send him up to the main roster? Or, I mean, they already have shoot wrestler, amateur wrestler type guys. I've gone over this a bunch with Tyra May Steele from LFG as well. It's like there's so many people with that gimmick already of like, I'm the shoot wrestler guy. So, yeah, I don't know. I think AEW is the best fit for him, and they're using him a lot. So, good on him. Not hating whatsoever. Are you guys fond of Josh Alexander?
No, and I have to believe that narrative. If there's much truth to it at all, I think it must have been while he was with TNA Impact, and they were doing. And I think they were going to loan him to NXT, or he would, get that Jordan Grace thing where they pay him to be on NXT.
Yes,
in an
that's
NXT
what he's referring
program.
to.
Yeah, I don't think he's talking about afterwards. So,
yeah,
okay, fine, whatever.
Josh Alexander can have fun in Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, and he'll be the king of Collision. He'll be relegated to there, and then he'll fall off a Collision. He'll be a Ring of Honor for a while until the contract runs out. He made, like you guys said, he made a smart move. Older guy, bad look, looks horrible. He's in shape, but
looks
the gear,
horrible. He says, "Oh,
he does. He's got the gear. He's got the headgear. He's got
one ear.
He's got he's got a cauliflower ear that fell off. They sewed it back on or something like that, I heard. He's got to wear that headgear when he wrestles so he doesn't destroy it completely. And it's just it's an oddball look. Maybe about 15, 20 years ago, he could have been, in WCW or what. I don't know. It's maybe back in the Crockett era. He's
150 pounds. He would have been in the Fantastics.
He could have been in the Fantastics. He's not that good looking. He didn't have the bleach blonde hair. True. But I could see him being in the Varsity Club with Dr. Death and Rick Steiner and Mike Rotundo. He could be tagging with Mike Rotundo back in that era. But in this era nowadays, he just looks too goofy. And I don't know. That's my take on Josh Alexander. I've seen him wrestle before, familiar with his work, and good technician in the ring, but he's in the wrong place to be a good technician in the ring because he's not going to be valued in AEW whatsoever. He was just bought as an action figure off the shelf at Walmart because the guy who bought him can buy him.
Oh, no, that's not true. I use them. I play with them every day. I mean, I signed them.
Yes.
Roman Reigns has surpassed 10 million followers on Instagram, becoming the 7th WWE superstar to reach that milestone. So acknowledge him. Vince McMahon is not on speaking terms with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, claims Jonathan Coachman.
He claims
so Coachman's been shooting from the hip, and he's been very critical of WWE, and he seems to have an inside direct contact with Vince is what he sort of makes it seem like, and he's super critical of current WWE. I wonder why, chat. I wonder why Coach is saying the shit he's saying lately. Well, he's fucking texting Vince on the side and relaying shit like this. And then lastly, to cheer us all up, we have Waller and Theory and Iyo Sky blowing kids' minds at a hospital. And it absolutely made their day.
Do the kids know who they are?
Absolutely. Watch this kid lose his shit when he sees Iyo Sky. Like, absolutely lose his fucking mind.
Right. What's up, legend? Right. How you doing? Oh, he's doing good. Oh, I'll give you a little hug, man. It's like good to see you, man. What's up, buddy? Look at this. How we doing? All right. Yeah. These guys. What's up, some dirty dog? What's up, hug?
Kid said, "Aren't you the two guys that never win matches?"
You're a fucking hater, dude. You guys are hating on Make-A-Wish kids, and I'm not here for it, Eric.
Yeah, what these guys do go into the hospitals, man, the emotional stuff, it's very brave of them. I applaud them.
Yes, we applaud them, and also applaud WWE News, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice.